Hello there, wrestling fans. I just found out, thanks to SpinnerNet1, that PWI, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, has actually awarded the Wrestler of the Decade award to none other than Hunter Hearst Helmsley, as we used to know him, meaning Triple H. And of course, this is going to make a lot of people complain, but so far I have yet to see any argument against why Triple H shouldn't be the Wrestler of the Decade, and I have also left to see whom should be it instead. People have mentioned Randy Orton. No, that's not a very good choice, mainly because Randy Orton didn't come along growing out on his own until 2005, possibly 2006. I would say he really broke out as a main event player, solid, on his own, not dependent on his opponents at all, maybe in 2007. So that's only like 4 years of the decade. Meanwhile, if we look at Triple H, well, he's been around in WWE since 1995, and has been dominating throughout the entire 2000 to 2009 as this year is. So I really think that is a good choice. Triple H is a very good, solid worker. He's not as good as he used to be, but still he's a very, very solid worker. I challenge you people out there to actually tell me one time where you saw Triple H do a mistake in his match. Tell me one time you ever saw Triple H fail or screw a move up in the ring. I actually cannot remember that. I've seen most wrestlers screw up. I mean, I've seen Jericho, who's a fantastic worker. He has screwed up a lot of times. Kane, Undertaker, you name it. I have never seen Triple H screw up in the ring, and I remember reading in Mick Foley's book that when he wrestled Triple H in his last match, which was supposed to be his last match, the Hell in a Cell, No Way Out 2001, he said he was so nervous, but the mere fact that he was working with Triple H that match, that night, made him feel secure, because he thought to himself walking out to that match, Triple H better bring his A game tonight because I am so nervous. On the other hand, he wrote, I knew that when you face Triple H, he always bring his A game. And I think that's pretty much sums it up. Triple H, when he enters the ring, he always brings his A game. No, all his matches aren't always good, but he's very reliable in the ring. He does what he's supposed to do. He has put up some really good names out there. He helped getting Randy Orton through. He helped get John Cena through. Batista, Dolph Ziggler actually, through working with the Spirit Squad. He established those as 5 wrestlers on the show. Yeah, they got beat a lot, but still they were an established tag team. And Triple H actually took time to work with them for several months, which made people notice them, and which made people notice, hey, these guys are actually messing with D-Generation X. These are solid workers. He also did a job to Umaga on Raw. Rest in peace, Umaga. Back in 2006, when Umaga arrived, he lost the match on Raw, pinfall against Umaga. He has also endorsed Sheamus, Drew McIntyre. There's a lot of talent. Triple H really has the eye of for the talent as well. He has got that very eye. He's been around the business for like 20 years. And the mere fact that when he arrived in WWE, he was taken under the wing of Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman. That proves that they saw something very special in him, and he is a workhorse. Triple H is a true workhorse. He also came back from 2 quadriceps tears, complete quadricep tears in this very decade. He was away like 8 months both times, and to even come back once from such a horrendous injury, that proves that you have guts, you have determination, and you have simply the pride. You strive on being the best. And that's what Triple H has done all the time while being around. He has strived to be the best. People want to tend that he's burying people. Yeah, he does that at times. But he doesn't do that more than any of the other big stars did. Like Stone Cold, he buried wrestlers. He refused to work with them. I've never heard Triple H actually refusing to work with someone. Stone Cold did. The Rock did. Goldberg did. Bret Hart did. Shawn Michaels did. The Undertaker never did what I heard. Hulk Hogan did, Ultimate Warrior did, Macho Man did. Triple H, from what I've heard, have never refused to work with anyone in the WWE. Instead, he's actually put a lot of talent up there, and just because he beats this mid-card wrestler doesn't mean he automatically buries them. Simply the mere fact of working with Triple H makes someone a very legitimate wrestler and someone to simply count on. and he has held numerous title matches. He's sold out numerous arenas. He sells tons of merchandise, and he gets the crowd going. He's very, very solid on the mic. I would say, I don't think there has ever been a wrestler, well, perhaps Ric Flair, of course. Triple H, however, is one of the very few. Ric Flair, on the other hand, he never sold out the arenas to that extent. It's hard to compare because that was back in the territory days. He might as well have done, but that was back in the territory days. But if we talk about modern wrestling, I don't think there is any wrestler who is as complete as Triple H is. Stone Cold was good and it was over, but he wasn't that good of a wrestler. He was a brawler, he was a fighter. Triple H is a very solid worker. He sells arenas out. He's good on the mic. He has got an enormous psychology. His face tells the entire story when being in the ring. For instance, as well, take Mick Foley versus Triple H in that cage match, 2001 in No Way Out. When Mick Foley went through the cage, through the ring floor, yeah, that was one hell of a bump. But what really told us, the TV viewers, the story, was the look on Triple H's face. Mick Foley said it himself as well. Triple H did it. Triple H was the one making that, because if you watch Triple H's face, his face told the story of, oh my god, Mick Foley just died. I killed him. Oh my god, what have I done? The fans are gonna kill me now. That's what his face said. And he does that all of the time. I mean, when he was supposed to wrestle Shawn Michaels at Armageddon 2002, this 3 stages of hell, they first announced the cage match, and Shawn Michaels was like, yeah, so what, I'm gonna beat Shawn Michaels in a cage match. Then they said a street fight, yeah, so what, I lost a street match, but still, I hit him with a sledgehammer, yeah, big deal. And then the third fall was gonna be a ladder match, and Triple H's face went from, to... And that told the entire story. That put over the entire match. I can't justify his facial expressions. But I can say there is really no one else that I could see deserve that Wrestler of the Decade more, because hey, he has been around the entire decade. He has been dominant through the entire decade. There is no one else. If you have someone else, please suggest someone. And it's also interesting that all of these internet haters, PG whiners, IWC shooters that doesn't like Triple H, they can't, it seems from what I have read everywhere, they can't make a point without intermixing the words cock, fuck, ass and kiss. Very interesting, very intellectual points, I must say. I'm really convinced. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.